uyakhodla zemali. Yibona ke la bengizokhuluma nabo. Welcome to the DBF 23 Youth Connect session. My name is Nomfundo Xaba. I will be your program director. Bengithi nginkhumbuze nje that we are here, and what I'm seeing in front of me, also my business. I'm seeing ikumama. Who else is seeing that? I'm seeing also Zmali. Kukhona omunye okubonayo lokho? Is somebody else seeing this? Am I the only one seeing it? Hey, yitagi nezitagi zemali egcwele la. I have to say this because, you know, a wise man once said, he happens to be a billionaire, by the way, Mr. Neville Kambasha, uthi, in the presence of greatness, anything is possible. So if you are here for possibility, you're in the right place. Who's here for possibility? If you are here for opportunity, you found the correct address. Who's here for opportunity? All right, if you're here to transform your life, well, guess what? In the voice and words of Siri, your destination is right here. Can you give yourselves a round of applause? I am absolutely privileged to also welcome our delegates, delegates, because we are here because we have delegated ourselves to transform our lives. And even if you are watching and you're streaming at home, I consider you to be exactly a person who's chosen to be that. So welcome and thank you for joining us. The honor I have of calling upon my fellow panelists, and I'm going to have them up on stage before we begin the program. Nyazi, we're still going to have a formal welcome by our counselor, but as she welcomes us, or he welcomes us, ngifisa sebe khona stage. So you can just look at how beautiful they are, but also appreciate ukuthi we are getting ready to hear something fantastic and have our lives transformed. It feels a bit cold, futhi mangingedwa la. So I'm going to ask our panel to come to the stage, and I will introduce them when they're here. If we could please just give them a warm round of applause as they make their way on stage. Bazobe behleli la, right beside me, giving me strength. As we do that, can we also appreciate Usis Nobuhle, our sign language interpreter? I was just looking at the program for today, and I noticed that the panelists, although they are in different spheres, in different industries, but they have managed to show another level of creativity in their spaces. They have been able to disrupt the market, and they've been able to forge ahead and create new initiatives. They've proven innovation in their spaces. So can we give them a round of applause? And I think now I can just formally make you aware who we have in our midst, all right? So if you want to whip out your phone and just take a photo, zobathola kahle beme kahle stage. Perfect. Ngicela uvele mnumzane uXaba uye lapha khona uzobonakala kahle stage. Yes.
Actually bethe uzohlala ngala. They did say.
All right, okay, all right. So we have in our midst, and if they can just give a wave, and I'm going to stand at the side of the stage so you can see them, and not be glued or chained to the podium. Perfect. We have Africa's first dredge master. She founded Global Maritime Youth. She's the CEO of WoMaritime, and also she is popularly known as, and she's going to explain in her story why that is still so important in her introduction, I'm hoping, Captain Londi Ngobo. Can we give her a round of applause?
Thanks.
She gave me a lot of insights about the ocean economy. So when I'm here, I have my notebook as well. I'm going to be writing a whole lot of stuff. And we also have businessman and philanthropist. On a personal note, this is somebody that introduced me to the media space and industry, was very instrumental in guiding my path. So I'm glad that we're sharing a stage this morning. He's the founder of KZN Youth Business Awards. He's also the founder of Ntenga Foundation. And if you know the popular school shoes Ntenga, well, that's the man behind it. So Mr. Calvin Ntenga. Can we give him a round of applause? And of course, a journalist by profession. She's an author for fictional books, one popular Shomu series that has now been turned to a Showmax telenovela. Dudu Busani Dube joins us. Yes. Thinking Han said, I got a scoop for after.
No.
And then, this individual is very special because some time ago, a few years, they had set up a stall right here at DBF. It was then DBF 16, so a couple of years ago. And they won the Best Stand competition in 2014. They are also the director and founder of Desired Trends. So if you want somebody to transform a space, decorate from earth to heaven, Mr. Lungelo Xaba is the perfect individual for that. Give him a round of applause. So, these
got
are
this, my brother.
panelists. And at this point, I'd like to, and just an indication if we do have our counselor here with us. Not yet, all right. So I guess I will have to allow ourselves to feel comfortable and say, you are welcome. And when she arrives, or he arrives, we will have that moment to get a word from eThekwini municipality representative. Is that okay? So if you see a bit of, halt and stop of the program, that means we have to allow the individuals that have afforded us this platform, ukuthi bas welcome officially. All right, now we get to the good part. Is anybody ready for the good part? Yes. All right, so I'm going to allow, just as an introduction, because we have a wonderful theme today, and our theme speaks to what we have experienced, the disruption, the chaos, the isolation some of us felt during the pandemic, and the unrest, but also that even through that, there's always a story of grit and perseverance. And if you are willing to put in the work, if you are willing to forge ahead, there are positive results at the end of that stride. So I just want to say this as we begin. When opportunity comes, may it find you in the correct address, ready, willing, and able. So as we go through this discussion, I hope you find tangible takeaways to implement in your journey in business. All right, so welcome.
Thank you.
I want to perhaps start, I will sit also, so it's a fireside chat. I want to include our delegates in this conversation and just ask right from uSis Dudu, size siyofika kuMnumzane uNonkosi, just tell us briefly your story in your words, so we can get a sense of who is in front of us right now and how their journey has been.
So, obviously I'm Dudu, Busani Dube. I'm from Guamashu. I grew up in Guamashu. I went to Vuguzaki High School, Mlazi. I studied journalism it's called DUT now.
Yes.
But in our times, it was Emil Sultan, and it was DIT. So I then went and worked as a journalist I once worked for Isolezwe, I once worked for Sowetan, for City Press, so pretty much a whole lot of daily newspapers before I began my journey of writing books in 2014. So that's when my first book, Uhlomu the Wife, was released. And I self-published. I think that is one of the things that kind of have brought me to where I am today. The fact that I own my work, and I decide what happens to it, and I'm part of the negotiations whenever I have to, negotiate for my money. So it kind of, I used different ways that were very unconventional to kind of get my work out there. And I think, to make the long story short, I ended up on Showmax.